Tesla, of course, was without employment at the time, and that was when the Undersecretary of the Navy approached Tesla and says, I would like to have you do some government work for the war. And they said, of course. So he worked for a period of time, about 2 years. And when the war was over, there was a commission that met and decided that we need a new electronics firm. We want to combine the efforts of all of these companies, including Marconi, and establish a new organization. And although the patents have been issued to various companies, will be put in a pool and given to this new company. It became, well known today, of course, it became the Radio Corporation of America, which was established in 1919. And Tesla and most of the people who had worked for Marconi were taken on board that company. Very few people know that Tesla worked for RCA from 1919 until 1939. This is one of the little things he did in the background. He was engineer, then the chief engineer, and later on, in the period between 35 and 39, when he was allegedly such a recluse living in the little room in the Hotel New Yorker, it was actually the busiest period of his life from 31 to 1939, and on into 41. He was not only the chief engineer, but eventually director of engineering and research worldwide for RCA. And they held a big retirement party for him in 1939 at Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I've never been able to locate any of the monthly bulletins which RCA put out for many, many years, but though I understand there was one showing pictures of him at the retirement party. People since have tried to trace the history of Tesla and RCA, and they can't find it. The paychecks were issued to him were not issued to him under the name of Nicola Tesla. They were issued to him under the name of Nicola Turbo, because Turbo was a nephew, and he decided to use that for whatever reasons as his official name on the records at RCA. And at some later date, all the records were destroyed. Whether this was accidental or deliberate, nobody is quite sure. But during this period, he was working on many projects. He decided to go back into, shall we say, the free energy business. And in 1931, he took a PSR automobile, ripped out the standard engine, put in a 75 horsepower electric motor, and they had a little black box, his free energy device, if you will, derived from the work he had done in the period around the turn of the century, and which Mr. J.P. Morgan wanted no part. Built this black box, converted the car to an electric motor, and had this place in the car in the dashboard for those who saw it. We put this black box and plugged it in and then turned it on, and it provided the power for the 75 horse electric motor and drove the PSR all over New York City and eventually all over New York State, without any gasoline, without any visible source of power except what he picked up. This part was documented much later by some Japanese in a video which was done many, many years later, and they said Tesla did it better than any of us, and nobody knows how he did it. That apparently was a secret that died with him. He also developed a particle beam weapon system, which he attempted to sell to the U.S. government. At first they were interested, then turned it down.